Hello, good afternoon everyone, and welcome to this session on trading and economic news. We're just going to get ready for the report that is due out in about 5 minutes, which is the US Purchasing Manager Index report, and that's the last report of high importance today. So I'll just get the charts up, and we'll just have a quick recap on what we've done so far this morning. So as usual, when we met this morning, we checked the economic calendar and we knew that there were a couple of reports of high importance due out today. At 8:30 GMT plus 1, we had the Purchasing Manager Index report that came out from Germany. And then at 9 o'clock, we had the same Purchasing Manager Index report that came out from the Eurozone. And then we knew that the last report of high importance today was the report out of USA at 2:45 p.m. GMT plus 1, which is in about 4 minutes. And it's the same Purchasing Manager Index report. So when we met in the morning, we knew the market was trending sideways because we had marked out the sideways trend from last night when we met last night. So those are the two white lines you see there. So those two white lines mark out our sideways trend from last night. And when we met in the morning, the market was still trending sideways between the two white lines. And as you can see, the pivot point, the yellow line, and the first support, this green line, were both within the sideways trend. And as we know from our trading plan, we don't trade within the sideways trend. So when we met, we said the only opportunity at the moment was a buy order just above the first resistance, because we can see the first resistance is outside the sideways trend. But there were no sell opportunities. So we did say at the time, due to the reports due out at 8:30 from Germany and 9 o'clock from the Eurozone, and the fact that that's the last point of entry into the market using the pivot point strategy, we decided that we'll place a pending buy order just above the first resistance in case the market does move prior to the last report of high importance, because as we know, the markets tend to trend sideways prior to the last report of high importance. But like we say, you don't use the words always or never when it comes to the financial markets, but usually 7 out of 10 times the markets tend to trend sideways prior to the last report of high importance. So you need to trade with extreme caution prior to the last report of high importance. So what we then said is that we'll place a pending buy order just above the first resistance, and we gave the reasons because the first resistance was 1, outside the sideways trend. 2, the first resistance was the only and last point of entry into the market, and also because there was a chance the market could move after the first 2 reports of high importance. And obviously we're looking at the Euro-US dollar. And we did say that if the market took that order and we ended up losing out on that trade, then we will stop trading and then just wait till now before we have a second attempt at the market. So as we can see, the market has gone up. Market went up there, and at about 10 past 9, about 10 past 9 in the morning, the market went up, broke the first resistance, took our buy order. So you can see that there, took our buy order. But again, we had a 20 pips stop loss and a 60 pips profit limit in place. And again, according to our trading plan, we're happy to lose this 20 pips and wait for the market to get to a halfway point before we move the stop to the opening level. So ideally, according to our plan, we'll need to wait till the market has gone. I entered the market here at 2874, so it will be 2902. So let's just put a marker there, 2902. 29. So that's just, sorry, 2904, sorry, 2904. So that's the halfway point. So you can see the market got close to the halfway point. So usually once the market gets to the halfway point, then we'll be happy to move our stop to the opening level. Now obviously now that we have the report due out very shortly, well it's now 2:45, so the report is due out now. In view of the fact the market has now gone beyond the first resistance and also beyond the pivot, the moving average, and our entry point is now below the moving average. At this point, I will be inclined to move my stop to the opening level, because now that the report is out, it's now 2:45, so the market can either go up, which is fine because we're in the buy trade, but if it does come down, we won't be risking any money, so we'll move our stop to the opening level. So we'll just go to that order and we'll move it to the opening level of 7.4. So there we are. So just checking out the news and see what the news says there. So at this point, we're not risking any money. So like I said, usually I wait till the market has moved to the halfway point before I move my stop to the opening level. But because, one, it got close to the halfway point and came back down. Two, the moving average has gone way above the opening level. And three, the fact that the report has now been announced and there are no more reports of high importance today, then there's no point risking that 20 pips anymore. So I've moved my stop to the opening level. So the market would either go up and hopefully get to my profit limit, which is fine, but if it comes down and takes me out, then at least I won't be risking any money at this point. But again, obviously in view of the nature of the market today, I won't be placing any more trades on this market today. Okay, any questions? If you have any questions, do click the hand button or send your questions through to the question box. Hello, Ade. Ade, can you hear me? I can see your hand up. I don't know if you've got your speakers on. I hope you can hear me. Oh, okay. Put your hand down. Okay. All right. Brilliant. Okay, good. So if you have any questions, do click the hand button or send your questions through to the question box. So like I said, I'm not placing any more trades today. That's the final trade. I've moved my stop to the opening level. So I'm not risking any more money on this trade. I'm just going to let it go. So it will either go to the 60-point profit limit margin, or it will fall back down and take me out, but I won't be losing any money on this particular trade. But I won't be placing any more orders on this market today. Any questions, comments before we call it an afternoon? Good. Brilliant. So if there are no questions, I wish you all a good afternoon, and we'll speak again this evening at 8 p.m. to round up the trading day and look ahead to tomorrow. So take care, have a good day, and speak later in the evening.